Hey gang, your old pal Clay here, Mountain Music Exchange, and today we're going to talk about some gift ideas for the guitar player that you might call Dad. Alright, so, there are all these sort of replenishables and things like that in the guitar world. There are always things that kind of need to be replaced, like strings, straps, things like that. So we're probably going to leave those off the list on this one. And I set a price point in my head, but not a hard price point of, we'll say, around or under $100 on these. So these won't break the bank too much for the most part to be able to grab for the guitar player that you love on Father's Day. First up, I'm going to start with something a little simple, pretty straightforward. The Fender Deluxe Guitar Care System. Now this one has a guitar cleaner, a polish. You also have like a quick clean that's sort of just like a detailer. You can kind of just knock some of the dust off of it with that and that sort of thing. You also have a fingerboard remedy in this as well. So like especially if you've got a rosewood fretboard, you'll be able to get that kind of nice and dark, rich, vibrant, sort of add to the overall aesthetic of your guitar. And if your guitar is looking that good, you're probably going to want to display it. And not always just on a stand. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm going to mention the price point of everything here that we talk about today. And I'm also going to be adding links to everything here in the description below so you can check those out for yourself. This is going to run about $29.95 for that guitar care kit. So it might be pretty easy to take care of as far as being able to score that for Father's Day. Another thing that might be pretty easy to score for Father's Day is if you're like me, you have a lot of pets, you do not want your guitar on a stand. It could spell disaster. Could always grab Dad a guitar hanger. I actually use this exact same hanger at home, the Hercules style. Cool thing about this one is when you put the guitar in, it sort of has these two locking mechanisms that sort of close together to keep the guitar from coming forward as well. So, pretty neat. It hangs into the wall. You can display it a little more proudly than just having it on a stand. Or if you don't have a music room, and again, I don't have a music room at home, it's easier to display this in a place in the house that's a normal, common area, living room, etc., which is how I have mine displayed as well. These run about $27.99, and it's worth the investment because I promise you, I have not had one single incident so far, knock on wood, with any of my pets in the house with my guitar up on the wall on a wall hanger. Another cool thing, if you have a budding, streamer or YouTuber in your life, or you have somebody that likes to use their phone on stage as reference, this might be a really cool idea here. This is a smartphone holder. It will connect to a mic stand. And fun fact, I'm actually looking at one of these right now as we shoot this video. This is the same thing that I'm actually shooting this video with right now. So it does definitely come in handy, and you can have that set up to where you can hold the phone vertically. So if you're using it as reference, or you're shooting maybe TikTok videos or shorts, you can use that in that capacity, but this will also expand outward so you can have the phone held horizontally. So if you want to do long form videos or tutorial videos, videos where you're playing, anything like that, or if you want to use that as a reference point while you're trying to learn something, you can point that phone toward you. This connects to a mic stand, so you will have to have a mic stand for this, but you may also be able to connect it to anything else that's sort of in that vein that you might have laying around the house. So yeah, this is about $39.99, and it comes in super handy. You can also get adapters for this for lighting. You can use this for all kinds of really cool things, and you can of course check those out online. But very cool to have around, very good for reference. And again, I've been using these for quite some time now, doing these videos and doing the demo videos and everything else that you've seen if you've been watching our YouTube channel. Speaking of which, if you've not and would like to continue to check out more content, I hope you'll consider giving us a like and a subscribe real quick. It's gonna be nothing to you, but it would mean the world to us if you did that. So anyway, gang, I digress. Let's go forward. So if, let's say, a smartphone holder or adapter is not enough, I do find myself using an iPad as reference when I play sometimes. I'm probably leaning a little harder on it than I should, but here we are. So another cool idea is, rather than the smartphone holder, this is sort of the same idea. That smartphone holder is $39.99, by the way. So this one's a little more. This one's $49.99. This is a 2-in-1 tablet and phone holder. So this one acts as a little bit bigger. It's basically the same thing, just bigger, but you can size it down to hold a phone as well. So if you find out that Dad wants to be able to use, a phone for things like this, for shooting videos or for, reference at home or for any other reason really, you can do that and this together. If you also know that he uses an iPad for reference, and again, I do more often than I probably should, but it has come in super, super handy when I probably haven't practiced enough, if we're being honest with you, because I'm out and about doing dad things. So this is about $49.99. This again will connect to a mic stand or any similar sort of item that you might have laying around the house. You also get adaptive applications for these as well. You can lock this up in various degrees and angles, depending on what your plan is to do with your iPad. You can have it facing up. If you're using it for reference, you can have it facing up and down. Like, you can bring the stand up, have it facing down if you want to use it for some sort of shot that you're trying to create, maybe a tutorial, maybe a live performance, anything like that. So those are some pretty cool, nifty ideas. And if Dad is also like me and constantly likes to tinker with his guitar around the house, this one may be the most handy one to have around. These are work mats from Fender. You can get these in tweed, and you can also get these in the grill cloth. So they sort of mimic the vibe of like a tweed Fender amp, or the grill cloth of, a later 60s, 70s modern Fender amp design. I could use one of these myself, to be honest. You can actually take the bass out, and that will work as the neck rest for your guitar. And then of course the mat will lay out across a workbench similar to this one, or your table at home, anywhere you need it to be really. And the cool thing about it is the tube is made in a way that it tidies right up. You can put this right up and stick it back in the closet or wherever you need, or even just keep it on display. It looks pretty cool on its own. And again, you can get those in a couple of different designs as well. Those run about 69 bucks. And if you're saying to yourself, well, why don't you have one? Well, maybe someone hasn't got me one for Father's Day yet. We've got some other cool ideas here for you too. You can never go wrong with a pedal. At some point, every guitar player wants to experiment with pedals, whether they have experimented or have not. And if they have experimented, maybe they want to add to their board, maybe they want to expand their sound, or maybe they just need a tuner or something to that effect. So I got some Boss pedals out here, but there are plenty of other companies that make pedals as well. And we'll put a link to just all the pedals that we have in stock in the description below, so we can sort of give you guys an idea of prices across the range. They can go anywhere from, the $50 range to the sky. So the choice is yours. But we've got some cool pedals here. For the sake of keeping our price point in the around $100 range, we got some cool pedals here from Boss that I wanted to talk about. We've got the DS1 and SD1. These are distortions and overdrives. We've got the MT2. That is, of course, like if you've got a metal player in your life that likes to hit the hard stuff, this would be the one for them. And of course, everybody on the planet that plays guitar could use a tuner, so there's the TU3 from Boss. The DS1 and the SD1 are right around $62.99, and these are just under $100 for the MT2 and the TU3. They're $99.99. So they feel a decent price point. Boss pedals are extremely reliable. But again, if Boss isn't the flavor of the day for your guitar player in your life, you can always check out other options in that price range. There are plenty indeed. Let's say you've got a guitar player in your life that really does a lot of traveling, and even if they have a hard case for their guitar, right? Or maybe they've got a gig bag, but it's a little flimsy, it's starting to fray, or it's just not thick enough or padded enough to sort of meet the need of travel that they might need or that they might experience, right? So you can grab these. The ones that I grabbed here specifically are Fender, but plenty of other companies make padded gig bags as well. I believe you can even get Mountain Music Exchange padded double gig bags if you happen to want to carry two guitars. Maybe you've change tunings during a set or something like that. But you can get these in different designs, and what I like about these is they are extremely durable. I mean, you can see they're pretty sturdy. And something I like about a gig bag versus a case is a gig bag will absorb an impact. If it's a well padded gig bag like this one or some others that are out there, a gig bag will absorb a vibration. So if you drop it, right, you're going to absorb an impact more than a case will. A case, while being padded and certainly looking better and easier to stack up, and you don't worry quite so much about it, if you drop a case, essentially the case sort of transfers the impact all the way up the guitar. And if you have a guitar with an angled headstock like a Gibson, Epiphone, some other brands as well, you're not going to want that impact transfer. So I always recommend padded gig bags. Usually I'll even recommend them over hard cases for practical purposes, although again, admittedly, they may not be as desirable as a case. But the cool thing about these gig bags is you can get these in all kinds of different designs. So there's denim. You can also get stuff like camo for the hunting guitar player in your life, or the outdoorsman guitar player in your life. And you can also grab, of course, different styles like this checker as well. Again, just depending on preference, you know what the person in your life would like a little more than me. That's gonna have us, gang. Thanks for checking us out today. Thanks for checking out the gift ideas. You can check out more online at mountainmusicexchange.com. You can also check out that new arrival section where you can check out all the latest new and used gear that comes into the store. Check us out, of course, on Facebook. Check out Haas on TikTok, and check us out on Instagram. Gang, that's gonna have us on this one. I'm Clay. You rock. Happy Father's Day.